Hello and welcome to this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Chalini Ratnavira. Now moving on to your top story for this hour. The National People's Power secured the power of the LPTA Pradeshia Sabha following a successful election victory yesterday. NPP secured 17,295 votes, winning 15 seats in the LPTA Pradeshia Sabha. Samagi Janabadaweke won 2 electoral zones, secured 7,924 votes and won 6 seats. Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna secured 3,597 votes and won 3 seats in the LPTA Pradeshia Sabha. People's Alliance won 2 seats by securing 2,612 votes. An independent group won 2 seats in the LPTA Pradeshia Sabha by securing 2,568 votes. People's United Freedom Alliance and the National People's Party each won 1 seat, securing 1,350 votes and 521 votes respectively. Out of 55,643 eligible voters, a total of 36,825 participated in the LPTA Pradeshia Sabha election. However, 520 votes were categorized as rejected votes. District Returning Officer W.A. Dharmasiri said that the LPTA Pradeshia Sabha election was conducted peacefully. Moving on to more local news, the Attorney General's Department has informed the Election Commission to provide an observation report regarding the date that was gazetted for the parliamentary election. The Attorney General's Department said that submissions will be made to the Supreme Court on the 4th of November based on this observation report. A fundamental rights petition was filed at the Supreme Court on the 21st of October, seeking a determination that the decision to hold the parliamentary election on the 14th of November is a violation of the Constitution. The fundamental rights petition was filed by Priyantha Herath, a civil activist as well as the convener of the Api Sri Lanka National Organization. The petitioner claims that the decision calling for nominations for the general election and the announcement of the date of the election were done in violation of the provisions of the Parliamentary Elections Act. It was pointed out that according to Section 10 of Parliamentary Elections Act, the dates calling for nominations were set from the 4th of October to the 11th of October. According to the Parliamentary Elections Act, the dates on which the election is held must be fixed within a period of not less than 5 weeks and not more than 7 weeks from the date following the last date on which nominations are accepted. The petition states that the 5-week period from the 11th October, when the acceptance of nominations was completed, will end on 15th of November and the 7-week period will end on the 29th of November. Pointing out that the correct time period during which the election must be held is from the 15th of November to the 29th of November, the petitioner points out that the Gazette notification published by the President is completely against the law and it is a violation of the rule of law. In more news here at home, Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuri expressed strong concerns over the previous government's decision to increase the salaries of public servants without proper financial allocation. She emphasized that while Ranil Wickremesinghe announced this salary hike, it was made without the necessary approval from the Treasury or the Finance Ministry. She highlighted that while the announcement was made, no concrete action has followed. Prime Minister characterized this move as a misleading false promise during an election period.
International news.
In international news, Japan's voters decide the fate of Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba's government today in an election expected to punish his coalition over a funding scandal and inflation, potentially ending a decade of dominance for his Liberal Democratic Party. The LDP and its longtime partner Komeito will suffer a drubbing from voters, With the coalition possibly losing its parliamentary majority, opinion polls suggest as Japan struggles with rising costs of living and increasingly tense relations with neighboring China.
Sports news.
And in sports, Sri Lanka emerged as the runner-up in the 2024 Asian Netball Championship, narrowly losing to Singapore in the final. The match ended with Singapore winning 67-64. Sri Lanka's performance throughout the tournament highlighted their strength, adding to their history of success, having previously won the Asian Netball Championship 6 times. Well, that is a wrap of this edition of Yes 101's Visual Radio. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Shalini Ratnavira. Thank you for watching.